scorching afternoon, as the cicadas hummed their relentless tune, and even the goats sought shade, Ogechi made her move. She marched through the village, past the shocked stares of those who rarely saw her venture out alone, until she reached the edge of Umwagara. There, under the broad leaves of an udara tree, stood the hut of Mama Nneka, the village midwife. Mama Nneka was a figure of both reverence and mystery. Women spoke of her in hushed tones, of her hands that could ease the most difficult births, of her knowledge of herbs that could cure any ailment. Men rarely approached her dwelling, for childbirth was women's domain, a sacred mystery as old as the red earth beneath their feet. Ogechi hesitated at the threshold, suddenly unsure, but then she heard her mother's exhausted sigh echoing in her mind, saw her father's bowed head. With a deep breath, she ducked into the coolness of Mama Nneka's hut. The old midwife looked up from her mortar and pestle, her hands stilling in their rhythmic work. Her eyes, dark and keen as a hawk's, fixed on Ogechi with surprise. Children, especially one with Ogechi's reputation, rarely ventured here willingly. "Well, little one," Mama Nneka's voice was deep, seasoned by years of guiding women through pain and joy. "You look fit to burst with something to say." Ogechi swallowed hard. The pungent scent of herbs, Mbazu for strength, Utazi for purification, filled her lungs, grounding her. I want to learn from you, Mama," she managed, her voice steadier than she felt. "To be a midwife." Mama Nneka's eyebrows rose, disappearing into the folds of her red head tie. For a long moment, she simply stared, as if peering into Ogechi's very soul. Then slowly she nodded. "It is no small thing you ask, child," she said, her tone grave. "The ways of birth are a woman's oldest wisdom, passed down from our great-grandmothers' grandmothers. If you seek this path, you must be ready to carry its weight." "I am, Mama," Ogechi burst out, her hands clenching at her sides. "I know everyone thinks I'm dumb, that I'm useless, but I'll work harder than anyone. I'll learn everything. I need to do something, to help my family, to be worth something." Mama Nneka's stern expression softened, just a fraction. She saw beyond the surface, beyond the labels of slow and dumb that clung to Ogechi like burrs. She saw something else, a flicker of fierce determination and resilience as tough as the Iroko tree's heartwood. "Very well," she said finally, her nod slow and deliberate. "Come back tomorrow, before the cock crows. We will see what metal you're made of." The next morning, Ogechi slipped out of her family's hut while the world was still cloaked in the velvety darkness before dawn. By the time she reached Mama Nneka's dwelling, the first golden rays of Anwu were just beginning to paint the eastern sky. Mama Nneka was already awake, of course. She greeted Ogechi with a brisk nod and immediately set her to work, thrusting the mortar and pestle into her small hands. "The first step to ushering life into this world is knowing the plants that aid us," she explained as Ogechi's arms began to ache. "Nchwangu to strengthen the womb, Uda to ease pain, Ogu to stop bleeding. You must learn every leaf, root and seed." Ogechi nodded. Her face is a mask of concentration as she ground the pungent herbs. The work was hard, harder than anything she'd done before. But with each twist of the pestle, each new scent that filled her nostrils, she felt a strange sense of rightness. For once, her hands weren't clumsy or wrong. They were learning, creating, and becoming part of something ancient and profound. Days turned to weeks, and weeks to months. Ogechi's education under Mama Nneka's tutelage was rigorous, a far cry from the rote learning and scorn of the village school. Here, she wasn't the runt or the source of derision. Here, she was a student with an insatiable hunger to learn, to prove herself. "The Ugbala leaf," Mama Nneka quizzed her one evening, holding up a serrated green frond. What is its use? Ogechi didn't hesitate. To stop postpartum bleeding, Mama, we brew it into a tea and have the mother drink it warm, but only a small amount, for too much can cause the womb to contract too strongly. Mama Nneka's eyes gleamed with approval. Good. And the aku enu bark for difficult labors, Ogechi replied, her voice steady with newfound knowledge. We scrape it into water and have the mother sip it. It strengthens contraction and helps the child descend.